start streaming now.
I will let you know when we're live.
Okay.
Don't worry, I will do your checks for you.
Thank you.
There we go. We are
We're
live.
live!
Are we live?
It's alive! It's alive!
Don't worry, I will do your checks for you. Excellent. Yeah. Wait, hold on.
You just.
I think we're good. Why does not have an option to? Nope, that's not the right one. There we go.
Say
It's
that
alive!
we're live.
It's alive!
Yep, says we're
I know.
live.
I now realize I messed up that line. I was thinking Ace Ventura when nature calls and he says,
I was doing a
I'm
shameless.
alive, but also Frankenstein.
Yeah, yeah. I was
So,
going for a Penn and Teller. So we are currently live there, Haley, and everyone sounds good.
Okay.
I'm
Hi,
just sharing.
everybody. And I'm sorry about
yeah,
these stupid things.
I'm just messing up your live stream at the outset.
Oh, we
Much more subtle, but just as funny.
But
Always gonna happen.
yeah, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Part of Your Broadway World podcast. I've never messed up that line. Welcome to the Part of Your Broadway World podcast, live edition. This is a very special live because it is our 2-year anniversary.
It's okay, Haley. I mess up my intro all the time.
2 whole years?
2 whole years.
Fuck
That's
you,
wild.
Jake.
That's I mean
What?
that's
That wasn't that
that was
that's
sincere.
genuine. That's nothing. Like, yeah, that's wow. I
Uh,
apologize if that had a tone of condescension. It was
It
not net.
did.
It was not intentional.
You're fine.
It was not intentional.
Okay.
I feel salubrious.
But yeah, I've never messed up that line before. Though
it's okay.
to be honest, I only do this once a year, so I guess it's
Nailing
bound
it.
to happen.
It's true. Yeah, no, when you're doing it live, you're like, oh no, I messed up the intro. Like, I'll just do it again. That's usually what I do. I just like, I'll just do it
Yeah,
again.
when you're when your life fucking becomes very.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, as my co-hosts both have reiterated, it is our 2-year anniversary. So yeah, we're gonna talk
Two
about that and celebrate that.
2 years of talking about Broadway and Disney. It's pretty wild.
As far as I'm concerned, you've already won.
I mean,
When you got
yeah,
Goofy, you won.
you won. Yeah, I mean,
When I got Bill Farmer, I
You
won.
win.
yeah, we all pretty much agreed you won from that point.
Yeah.
That's we kind of me and Jordan went to back to our cave and we started to be like, how can we top this? And there just really wasn't a way. Um, we're working on it, but
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
not
because
it's not
here's the thing. Theoretically, the only way you could top it would be to get either or the voice of Mickey. But here's the thing: Mickey doesn't have a Goofy movie, so
it's
Goofy
true.
still wins.
It's true. Also, like you could get maybe one of the Donalds, but at this point, there's like three Donalds. That's the one thing about Goofy. Like, there's no backup Goofy. Donald has a couple of backup guys who do a few of the cartoons, but Goofy, he's the only Goofy as of right now. He's
I
the only Goofy.
I tried to get one of the Donald, and he
Really?
turned me down.
Really? Which Donald did you try to get?
The most
Was it
recent
Tom?
Oh,
one.
let's not out, fucking out of out of the most recent Donald.
I forget what his name is. I only know like not he's not the original Donald 'cause that's Clarence Nash, but Tony Anselmo. He's the
Right.
Donald from my childhood.
Mm,
Sort of like how
Daniel Ross. That's the one I tried to get.
Oh, Daniel Ross. Really, he turned you down.
He turned me down.
He turned you down, huh? I mean, I would love to talk to oh, I forget his name. Eric Bauza. Eric Bauza would be a dream. He's not he does a little Disney. He's more Looney Tunes. He's the most recent voice of the Looney Tunes. But yeah, for me growing up, I mean I love the current Mickey, but for me growing up, it's always going to be Wayne Allwine. He was the Mickey of my childhood, but he passed away a few years ago, very sadly. But he was married to Minnie, the voice of Minnie, Russi Taylor. That was the whole thing. They were married for many years.
You know what?
Oh man, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yo, did you not know that? Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Mickey and Minnie in real life were married for like decades.
You know what?
Well, that's charming and still
right.
Technically, I got Pluto too.
I mean, that you did, technically speaking. Poor Jake is stuttering.
Poor Jake is Poor Jake is going through the motions at this point.
He's trying. He's currently occupied. So he's trying his best.
So the audio will sound better in like a little bit here.
Solid.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks now since since I interviewed Bill Farmer, and I'm
jealous.
still pinching myself. I
mean, fair, Jordan was pretty jealous when you got to talk to, I forget her name, but the girl from Epic the Musical.
Yeah.
He was pretty jealous of that.
I know.
That's one of his favorite musicals.
I know.
He was like, what? That's sick.
Let me know.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty sick. But yeah, that talking to famous people, I have no idea how you guys do that because my brain's just not ready for that yet. My brain can barely handle when I have my friends on. That's folding people in. To the old dynamic.
I think I should be better now.
Oh hey, it's not chunky. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't. Wow, those Bluetooth headphones were not working at all. But I'm being safe. I am driving hands free. I'm not pulling a virus where you're not sure if I'm turning or turning over my car.
But I love it when he puts his camera on the steering wheel and you're like, what is happening?
You're not sure if he's making a right turn or dying until he comes out of it.
Virus Fox coming to us straight from his washing machine.
He's clean.
He's good. He's solid.
He's fine.
He's fine. He's good. He's fine. But yeah, no, it's funny when I saw you were like all my brain went when I saw you were gonna talk to Goofy. Just went like, these are all the questions I would ask.
Oh, I know. I did the exact same thing. I'm like, okay, you have to ask him about this, and this,
right?
And I'm the one who I think she had the idea already, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But I did say, I'm like, you got to ask him, and he probably can't, but you got to ask him to shout out the podcast as Goofy, but he probably can't do it contractually. But
yeah,
and he
I wasn't surprised.
He couldn't, but he still did the voice at the end.
Oh yeah, he absolutely did. The unfortunate thing is, and it's so not his fault, but when you do a voice, you can because it's your voice, you can do whatever you want with it except sell shit.
Yeah. Which fair.
It makes sense. Like But it's kind of a bummer, but it makes sense. It's so, like, I don't blame him in the least, because I even said to Haley, I was like, I'm pretty sure he can't, but you got to ask.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, my thing is the thing that I legit, like when you said you got Goofy, I mean, I this is a reference only Jake is going to get, but I turned it to Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z Abridged, where it's like, you, explain, now. Show me your work. Show me how did you do this? Because it's like, for me, I don't understand how you are like, look, I'm kind of small potatoes. I don't really know what I'm offering you. Like, I just don't know how you like jump that
Right.
hurdle. That's the part of it I
Right.
don't get. Because like being like just as an example, me and Jordan, we did a Kevin Smith episode, and I was like, oh man, I think we could get him. He feels like a guy who likes to talk about himself, but like I don't know how to be like, yo, I have nothing to offer you in terms of fame or promotion. I have 200 people who watch me generously on and off. Like, if you want to just talk about stuff,
Yeah.
that's cool. So I don't know. I have no idea how you managed to, I don't want to say swindle, but convince these people to come hang out with you for like you were like, "Oh, I only got 30 minutes," but I'm like, "You got 30 minutes with Goofy. That's 30 minutes more than the rest of us
29
have."
actually, but okay.
29 minutes. But still, that's 29 more minutes than the rest of us have. That's pretty sweet. My favorite clip thus far has been there was a short you released where you're telling him how much it meant to you, and you can like see how much it like genuinely touched him. Like that was really sweet. I really like that. That was really cool.
Well, he's just a genuinely awesome person.
He gave me real grandpa energy. Like just like a chill grandpa, you know?
The grandpa energy.
Like you know, like I had a chill grandpa,
Oh.
you know. Or dad, if you prefer dad, chill dad energy.
And we lost Jake.
Oh, poor. He probably backed out so he can change his name from Dr. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's like, I need to change this. It's stupid.
I don't like the name Dr. Fantastic. I'm not Dr. Fantastic. I'm Jake. No, yeah, he's got like real like Hawaiian shirt dad energy.
Yeah. And
Like I
I
feel like
don't
he's gonna say a dad joke at any moment.
I don't know if like you even noticed on his shirt, but there are like little goofy movie goofies.
Oh, that's
all
really
over it.
cool.
Yeah. So not
That's
only
really cool.
so not only is it like a Hawaiian shirt, but it's like goofy movie Hawaiian
Oh, that's
shirt.
so cool. I mean, I would have been so tempted to pitch him. I'd be like, dude, okay, hear me out. Here's my idea for Goofy Movie 3. Like, I would have been so like, I would have been be like, let me, what would you like? That would be one of the things I would have been like, what would you do for Goofy Movie 3? For me, it's Goofy as Grandpa. Like, that's always been my pitch for Goofy Movie 3. It's Goofy is now a grandpa. Because like that's to me, and Max is now has because there was a moment they had a video where they were talking about it. They were driving in the car from the Goofy movie, and Max is talking about how his kid or the guy
Jason
Jason Marsden,
Mraz.
yeah, he was saying how his kids find him embarrassing.
Yeah.
So just the notion that Max's kids now find him embarrassing, I think
Yeah.
is would be super funny, and I think there's definitely an appetite for that movie to do a Goofy movie 3.
You're missing potential comedy gold though in a prequel, a
I
Goofy
mean,
prequel movie
yeah,
where
I mean,
Goofy's like the cool 1970s kid and his dad is busting his child. Except they establish in a Goofy movie that he and his dad are really chummy.
yeah. Well, I mean, did you see did you see my film theory for a Goofy movie where Goofy is not his actual name, it's Goofy?
I did. I enjoyed it way too much.
It blew my mind when I watched that movie. I never noticed that they misspelt his name on that stupid map. I was like, that's amazing. But that would be, I mean, we have the theory that we've had the theory that yeah, Pete's wife that him and Goofy got together her and Goofy got together in high school.
Oh, for sure they did. Now I don't know that I attach your theory that is it Pistol that's Goofy's
That's
kid
not
or
that what was that was a theory that someone said that Max is maybe Pistol and Goofy's kid, but I think we shot that down because we were like the ages and the dates don't match up. Um,
right.
but
Yeah, because it's implied that Max and PJ are approximately the same age within less than a year of one another.
yeah,
So unless
yeah,
they're twins, that wouldn't
yeah,
work.
no. I mean, I was really impressed with Goof Troop. Like I rewatched that for our show, and I was surprised by how like not, for lack of a better word, goofy it is. Like it has its moments of like genuine sincerity where I was like, this is impressive.
It's
Um,
kind of like yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of like Hey Arnold in that
Yeah.
respect, where
yes.
when Hey Arnold premiered, it was so different, and there are some like really fun, like very much if you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, this is totally a kids show, and then there are some where they talk about like Vietnam War refugees and
Yeah.
like one legitimately kind of horrifying episode
Yeah.
about bullying where you're like, oh my, like this is a little heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when kid shows are at their best. Yeah, the thing I appreciated about Goofy is that Goofy's not stupid. Like Goofy is a very capable adult, who's just a little clumsy.
Mhm.
Like that's one of my favorite Goofy movies is the extremely Goofy movie where he's just a successful student. He's just good at he just never like he never fails at school.
So what I should have done, and I wonder if Bill Farmer has cameo, because if he does, I might do this. I might give him a script, um, just laying out a semi-complex mathematical formula, and just be like, "Hey, I will pay money for you to do this as Goofy." Just get on there and be like, "Well, the hypotenuse of a triangle is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But you got to remember to apply the square root at the end to get your answer." I can't do it,
amazing.
obviously.
Hey, that's better than mine. I mean, I just love the third movie. I love the fact that none of the drama he kills with the ladies. Like none of the drama comes from him and his girlfriend. Like it's all between him and Max. Like he is a perfectly good boyfriend.
Oh no, Goofy's a stud.
Yeah. I'm just saying, big feet, big hands. You know what that means. Big gloves and big shoes. Come on, get your mind out of the gutter. Jeez, it's a Disney cartoon.
This is a Disney podcast. What are you
It's
doing?
it's a Disney podcast. He's got big gloves and big shoes.
It sounds like he's bringing the smut.
Stop it. Knock it off.
And then also, and I would never ask Bill Farmer to do this, but a voice match. Let's get Goofy to read some 50 Shades of Grey just for comedy.
I'm sure it's out there. I mean, there's a really funny one. A good impressionist who he did. I think it was Winnie the Pooh and Goofy in that scene from Joker, which was really.
Oh yes, I have heard that.
That was really funny. That was really good.
I think it's the same guy. He does he reads smut novels as Mickey Mouse and other various characters.
That's funny. But yeah, there's no. I don't think there haven't really been any voice matches for Goofy. Like only been the one Goofy. Only ever been the one Goofy.
Officially, for sure.
Officially, yeah.
And yeah, that's another thing that's awesome about Bill Farmer, and he talks about this in the podcast, which if you haven't already, you should go watch.
Yeah.
He talks about how he does it all. He does the games. He does. Does the literally the weekly television series. Like he does.
They don't have voice matches for him. It's all
him.
him.
Like the how-to series. Like.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that was some of my favorites. I mean, I was always a fan of those Mickey, Goofy, Donald cartoons. Like they're my. I mean, there's like if I had my opportunity to ask him, the question I would ask him is like, is there a difference in the different versions of Goofy? Because like in like Kingdom Hearts, for example, Goofy just straight up you think he's dead. There's a section in that game where he gets clocked in the head, and you think he's dead for like legit, like for like a solid.
I remember
15 minutes of gameplay.
I remember weeping to that. I was like, no! I'm like sitting here with my controller in hand, like, what the fuck?
Mickey Ronan's style is like, I swear bloody vengeance for the death of my fallen comrade as he runs off to murder. I'm just like, is that different for you?
Yeah.
Versus like a Goofy movie where he's Dad Goofy. Like, are those two different? The same thing I'd ask Jim Cummings as well. I'd be like, is Pete, depending on how you play Pete, is Pete different from character to like from version to version? Because like a Goof Troop Pete is kind of different than say Three Musketeers Pete, who's a bad guy. Like yeah, I'd be fascinated. Like is there a process or is it just all Pete?
Not even trying to put words in their mouth. My first guess would be there's probably not much of a difference in the voice, but there's probably significant difference in the acting.
That's what I would assume too. Do you approach or do you just like do you approach the character differently? I guess would be the simplistic version of that.
I mean, yeah, but Goofy's got to be a trip to do like a series. Well, it's not because we've seen him do it. I was gonna say a character like Goofy. I feel like there's gonna be a really fine line playing it serious as Goofy.
I feel like yeah,
he does it. We know he does it because he does it in a Goofy movie.
True, and
exceptionally.
The thing I learned from Goof Troop is Goofy is not always like there's points where he gets mad. Like there's episodes of Goof Troop where he gets mad at Pete. So it's not like he's not capable of complex emotion. I think that's why I like that character so much.
Goofy strikes me as the type of person who just wants to be Zen, but the rest of the world is just like, no. And then he's like, oh, I warned you.
Yeah, exactly. He reminds me of Jeff Bridges in Tron, where it's like, you're ruining my Zen thing, man. That's how I see it.
Goofy just kicks the door. He's like, Pete, am I going to have to open up a can of whoop ass?
But no, yeah, truly, I mean, we said it, that there's no Mickey movie. We've never made a Mickey movie. Not a
Not a
theatrical one.
theatrical one, no.
No,
There's a
you did make
Mickey
the point
horror
though,
movie.
but
There's a Mickey horror movie.
that doesn't
Yeah, but
count.
that's not a, we're going to slash your intestines out.
Yeah, I mean
Could you
that's yeah.
imagine if it was like that though? Could you imagine?
I'd watch it. It'd be real South Park-esque, but it's like, let's bathe in the blood of the innocents and sacrifice virgins.
Well, I think that's kind of what they're going for with at least one of those. I know one of them is the guy who plays Art the Clown, and he's really hamming it up. It's the only reason why I have any interest in watching it. Is because of, I mean, to be fair, there's some really weird ones. There's one where it's Bambi and it's Jaws.
Yeah.
It basically just looks like it's just
Yeah,
Jaws, but with Bambi.
I heard about that, and there's that's going to be interesting.
That yeah, or another one where it's Peter Pan and he's just a guy on drugs.
So there's precedent for that one. Okay. I was told about this series and thought it was fake, and it's not fake. And I read the first book out of morbid curiosity. It's kind of a shame. What is it? Oh, the series is called The Never King. Either that or that's the first book. But it's basically the author's attempt of Peter Pan meets 50 Shades, and it's not. Here's the thing. It's kind of a shame that she made it like a smut novel, because there are actually story elements that I found interesting.
Huh.
But that gets superseded by the smut.
Of course.
Which is not particularly even good smut. So it's just kind of like, can we skip over the orgy here and get back to the whole, like, because no, there's a really interesting, so in that book series, I cannot believe I'm talking about this book series, but the concept is that there's some reason that Peter Pan has lost his power, and because of that, his influence over Neverland is waning. And the thing is, he doesn't actually know, if I'm remembering correctly, he doesn't actually know how to fix the problem. He just has a theory, and it involves the Darling family. So like Wendy's continuing line, as it were. So there are elements of it that are kind of interesting, and Pan is just a dick, but like, he's an interesting character.
What a weird movie. A weird book series.
Yeah,
that's odd.
I was gonna say something and then I shut my mouth because I'm like, I can't say that on live.
My question is, how does you know what? Never mind. I have a lot of questions, none of which are appropriate.
It's, if any of you disgusting deviants out there want to check it out, it's called The Never King. So
That is messed up.
I was gonna say something of the lines of like, oh, so he's an interesting dick.
he's an interesting dick.
He is an interesting dick. Yeah, Jordan doesn't like those movies on concept, so they're pretty much dead on arrival for him. I tend to lean in that it depends on how they're executed. I don't see the appeal of them personally, but I will watch them out of sheer interest.
It's got to be morbid curiosity, right?
It's
like
more or less a morbid curiosity. Yeah.
So Haley, I hate to be this guy, but I kind of screwed up, and I actually am en route. I pulled over so that I could actually. So real quick, before I get into that, I have to dip out because I actually forgot today I'm taking the pictures for my wedding invitations.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not late, but I have to dip out. But I did want to come on and say two things. First, congratulations for the podcast 2-year anniversary. And I will see you at the trial, and I will eviscerate Hamilton.
And
It's going down.
Win, and I'll win.
I'll be there.
Going down. It's going down like I will be, even though I hate this guy, I will be the Aaron Burr to that stage play.
You're gonna shoot Hamilton in the head.
The difference between me and the real Aaron Burr is I won't plot to take over the United States after.
And you'll feel, and also you won't feel guilty about it. Wait, no, he didn't actually feel guilty about it.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Aaron Burr thought that was like the coolest thing he ever did. He's like,
Yeah.
I shot that motherfucker.
I saw a YouTube video about that where the guy was like, yeah, in real life, Aaron Burr didn't feel remotely guilty about
Not at
it.
all.
He
No, he
bragged
hated
about it, I
them.
think I read.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The rivalries were quite bitter. In fact, because I know they're both in it. I think weren't John Adams' last words, Jefferson still lives, and he was like big mad about that.
That sounds that sounds about right. I know that, yeah, I
Uh,
know that I saw in the video the guy was like, yeah, Jefferson wasn't a colorful guy who danced around the stage.
he was not, but I just wanted to say those, and I will see you guys later. I will be in the chat, annoying you there,
Mm.
but I did want to pop on and show my face and say hello and congratulations.
Thank you.
I will
And
see
also,
you.
I will eviscerate you.
We shall see, but I will be in full costume.
I know.
Oh.
I did this when I got that text. I'm like,
Come on, it's me. You know I'm going to.
All
All right.
right.
right,
We'll
bye.
see you on Saturday.
Yes, sir. See ya.
So, Haley, I saw in the description of this event that you have Disney news. What sort of Disney news did you bring?
So much, so much.
Excellent. News is what I do. I do news. This is my whole bit. This is my whole gimmick. This is my whole deal.
So one being, well, this isn't Disney news, but this is kind of news that I kind of am annoyed by.
Go on.
So you know how me and Jake hate James Corden?
I'm aware that you hate James Corden. Yes, I don't have any. Not that I don't love him. I don't love guys who are dicks, and I've seen enough. I've seen enough YouTube videos of him being a
Yeah.
friggin' ass, but I've never disliked him in a movie.
Yeah.
That's my perspective on that. But yes, I'm aware.
He's gonna be in the Smurfs movie.
Yes, isn't he? Isn't he Vanity Smurf, something like that, which I thought was a little on the nose.
Mm,
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for that Smurf movie. It really looks like
he's
something to do with being handsome or pretty.
I have
I vaguely I vaguely remember it from the trailer. But it was just like it's Papa Smurf's brother. It's like, wow, we're really scraping the bottom of the proverbial Smurf's barrel. Gargamel's evil long lost brother.
I don't love. I still no hate to Rihanna because I love Rihanna, but I hate that she's Smurfette. I'll say it now.
To be fair, she's now the third Smurfette, and I don't remember who the first one was. I've seen all of these movies, even though I've never watched the show. I didn't grow up with the show. I have no strong emotional ties to it. I watched. I remember I don't know if the first one was really bad, but the second one was horrendous, and it was like there's all these horrid Smurf related puns. The one that always sticks out to me is Smurfholm syndrome. He's got Smurfholm syndrome because it was terrible. And then yeah, Demi Lovato was the second one.
Yeah,
She was on
I
the
like
animated
her.
one. That one was actually not bad. That was the one where you find out that there's the secret tribe of girl Smurfs. That I thought that was all right.
I didn't love Katy Perry because I don't like her anyway. I think she's kind of annoying.
Who is Katy Perry?
Katy Perry, the one that sings Firework.
No, but who was she in that one? Because I know that in that one it was Demi
She-
Lovato who was Smurfette.
She played she also played Smurfette in one of them.
Did she?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the first one then. Because yeah, I just remember the animated one that they eventually put out that precedes this one.
Yeah.
The big Demi Lovato went big in on promoting it, and it was like this is the third one, and it's not, and they've attempted to reboot it, and Smurfs are not terribly popular to begin with. Um, so it just didn't do well.
Nope.
It was shocked. I was shocked to see this was coming out because I was
Yeah.
like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Because yeah, Smurfs never really they're not really a franchise that have the Gen Zers don't really
Yeah.
jive with them
hmm
really.
And
Same,
then,
same thing with Garfield.
yeah. Although you can't really go anything, you can't go wrong with Garfield though. Garfield.
Garfield, I mean, don't get me wrong. I grew up reading Garfield, and I love Garfield.
I love Garfield.
But the Gen Zers, the kids these days, he does nothing for them. His humor is so ripped from the 1990s and 80s that like I've seen so many people tear Garfield apart, being like, one of my favorites is still Family Guy. Like, why do you hate Mondays? You're a cat. You don't even work. But no, I love Garfield. When I was a kid, me and a friend, we used to
Mm.
okay, kids, they used to have these things called libraries where you'd go take out books. And you'd be able to get comics from there, and they used to release Garfield comics in what was known as a trade paperback. It was about that thick, and they had various names. And me and my friend would go to the library, and we would photocopy Garfield comics, and then we would hide it underneath his bed because his mom was a religious nutbag. I haven't spoken to them in years. It's okay, I could say that.
Oh my god.
But
Oh
we
my
used to hide
god.
up in his we used to hide up in his room. She was the kind of like Pokemon are evil kind of religious nutbag. Um,
Jake's trying to convince me to do like a Family Guy, Disney and Broadway reference episode. Like I go through all of the
oh, there's enough of them.
Family Guy, The Simpsons,
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's
um,
enough of them.
the South Park.
South Park.
Yep.
South Park. The funniest thing from South Park I saw was they got Joe Jonas to be like, I was the only one of us who thought the bit on South Park was funny, which was funny because I was like, really? Huh, good for you. Good for you for having a sense of humor. I mean, especially because he was the one who had the shit kicked out of him, which I thought was funny.
The
I
last
really want them.
time.
I really hope they make Camp Rock 3. Like I just want them to make Camp Rock. I
No,
think
thank
they're
you.
gonna.
No, thank you.
You don't want Camp Rock 3? Oh,
No,
I
I
want it
don't.
so much.
No,
I want it so much.
actually, no. I think that they did Camp Rock 3, didn't they?
No, they're all playing coy about it. They've asked them because they're promoting Phineas and Ferb right now, and a bunch of the people who are in that movie are in Phineas and Ferb. So they got them all at various events, being like maybe, or like the Jonas Brothers on stage a bunch of times have been like
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah. Well, they
I
keep teasing like High School Musical 4 too, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's another
but
one they've
you
been.
need to stop. You need to fucking do it or stop.
The only way High School Musical 4 would ever. Okay. I like the first Camp Rock. I think the second one's bad, and I think it has a terrible ending. I remember me and Jordan, we watched it. My then girlfriend, we were watching. He was texting me, and we were being like, everything is solved by the power of music. And she was so mad. It was so funny. But for High School Musical 4, technically they already did it in that High School Musical show.
Yeah.
Number one, number two. Um, it only works if you get Zac Efron back.
Yeah.
It's the only way it works. Like you can get Ashley Tisdale,
They
Lucas
were.
Gabriel, all of them back, and it would only work if he came back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were teasing everyone coming back,
I saw a bunch of rumors about
and
that.
I'm like, okay.
I look, I'm all for. To be fair, I'm weird. I like tropes, and I like it. I like doing this version of this thing. So I like the high school star has to come back to his hometown
Yeah.
and rediscover his love of music, which is the movie they would probably do. Everyone, it's the high school reunion. Everyone's going back for the high school reunion, and they have to contrive a reason to do a big musical. I'm all for that. I think I'm down for that. Same thing with Camp Rock. Camp Rock is the only logical story to do for Camp Rock 3 is the Jonas Brothers run the camp now. Like that's just the obvious, and I'm down with that. I think that's fun. I'm weird like that. I get that it's hack and it's like lazy and it's like why
I
do a fourth one?
I don't love that, but I mean, I get it, but I just don't love that.
That's such a odd franchise though because almost all of the people involved in that movie are too big for it. So like, uh, and it's too big to be a TV movie. So is it a sequel or a requel or a? In that instance, I'd be like, oh, you do a requel and you do a uh it's a new students and say Lucas is not Lucas. Ryan is a teacher at the school or Sharpay is a teacher at the school. Like I think it would be kind of fun if you do it where it's Sharpay and she's now the head of drama. Like she's now Mrs. What's her face. That'd be kind of fun.
What's her face? I love that.
I have only seen that movie once or twice and it's been a while. Mrs. leads the theater program, whatever her name was.
Miss Darvis.
Darby, that was it. Yeah,
Darvis.
Darvis, that was
Yeah.
it. Yeah, have it where like Sharpay is the new her. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'd watch that
Okay,
on
and
Disney
then
Plus.
other other Disney news too. Frozen, the stage musical.
Oh
is
yeah,
on
there's a
Disney
pro
Plus.
shot.
There's a pro shot
Is it
on Disney Plus.
is it finally on Disney Plus? Oh,
It's
I'm gonna
on
have to
Disney
watch
Plus.
that. I'm gonna have to sit down and watch that. I'm really stoked. I love pro shots.
I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know why. That's good to know. I want to watch it. I I'm surprised Disney's doing that because look, I love Disney and I love Disney musicals, but like their Broadway stuff is just kind of on the verge of like being slightly better than theme park. At least in my opinion. I've never seen one that's at least to be fair, I've only ever seen them in bootlegs,
Yeah.
but I've never seen one that was really good. Like I watched the Aladdin one and I thought the Aladdin one was kind of bad. So the only thing I liked about the Aladdin one was that they brought back two of the songs that they deleted that were on the album. But other than that, I thought the acting was kind of hokey. So I want to watch it. I'm excited. More pro shots. More. I say that every time I come on your show, but it's the truth. More pro shots,
Mhm.
not less.
See,
More.
pro shots. I feel like pro shots would help Broadway.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, even if you just record a pro shot of the original cast and you wait till that original cast run is done and then you release it, because I understood the logic of being like, um, we can't, we don't want to put a pro shot out because then people won't come watch the show. My response to that is always it's very different watching a show in person as opposed to on a screen.
Mhm.
And B, a good pro shot will utilize the fact that it's being recorded.
Yeah.
Like my favorite pro shot, one of my favorite pro shots. I mean, I really like Waitress, but um, oh, there's a few of them. Home and Away, really good, using using camera angles, like cinematic camera angles. Be like, oh yeah, this is a bit more interesting than watching it on stage. Or like they'll put in some special effects. The Shrek one does that too.
I really, and we talked about this on um, on your show. Yeah, I'm trying to find where you are. It's like where we talked about this on your show, about Jagged Little Pill needing a pro shot.
Ah, that needs a pro shot. Oh, I have to tell you this. I watched I haven't made the video yet. It's gonna come out, but I doubt you've ever seen this movie. There's no way you've seen this movie. But the director Kevin Smith, he's got a movie called Dogma, and in that movie, God is Alanis Morissette.
I kind of love that because I
She
always
she
pictured her as God.
yeah, no, she is God in the View Askew verse, and she cannot speak because if she speaks, she blows your head off because you cannot handle the word of God. So she blows up Ben Affleck's head. But yeah, yeah, they one of them it ends with her like literally closing the book on the universe. Yeah, I was like, Haley will find this funny.
Okay, but
Eh,
why do I kind of love that though?
I mean, I always found it funny because I mean, Alanis Morissette is a Canadian treasure,
Yeah.
and also they should make a Jagged Little Pill movie because that musical is really good. And but to be, I mean, you'd have to get Alanis Morissette to agree to that. But
Yeah.
I always find that like jukebox musicals, I don't understand why there's not more of them in Hollywood because they're so easy to produce.
Well, and then I talked to my mother. I talked to my mom, and she was like, I mean, they could get around the whole like spoiler alert is that if anyone hasn't seen Jagged Little Pill, but if you haven't, then where have you been?
Where have you been? Living under a rock?
Yeah.
Pretty good
Um,
musical.
yeah, it is. Um, Bella Fox gets assaulted, which is one of
Well, yeah,
the main
that's
characters.
yeah, we talked about that. Like how do you do that on film?
But there
Um,
are movies that show that shit.
true. The difference being though is musicals automatically have a kind of a tone where it's like you can't do really gnarly stuff in a musical because then you get an R rating and nobody is gonna go watch an R-rated musical. It's like unless it's like Tim Burton and Sweeney Todd. Um, especially a jukebox musical. So I think you could get away with not showing it. You can maybe make it a tad, you can make it metaphorical, you could imply it. Yeah, the play shows it and it's unpleasant. But you could get away with not, maybe.
Like, my whole thing is like, I think what they should do, they should like at least like show it like little like glimpses of what happens, but like nothing like on the nose. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a lot you can do, or you can have it where you just see him watching. Um, you could imply with sounds. You could show the aftermath of him getting off of her. Ugh, I feel gross saying
Yeah,
that.
so gross.
Um, you could do any number of those things. Like, yeah, you don't it specifically have to show. To be fair, I'm pro no assault scenes in movies ever, never, ever, ever, ever. It's a thing that will immediately make me not like a movie and pull me out of it immediately. I
Isn't
I
that what they
can't
did with?
stand scenes like that.
Isn't that what they did with Les Mis? Is like they showed the sailor getting off Anne Hathaway after.
Yeah, but that be fair, that movie's PG. Yeah, yeah, that was a lot more implied than it was. I think you see she's about to do it and then it kind of cuts away. Um, yeah, you can imply a lot in film language.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot in that a lot of surrealism in that musical that I'm like, oh, when I was watching it, I was just like, this would look so great on film. Like this would work in film. Um, yeah, yeah, I would totally make that into a movie if I could. I would not do Mamma Mia 3 and instead I would Jagged Little Pill.
Oh,
That blew
speaking
my
of Mamma Mia 3, I don't know if we talked about this before or
that was
not,
really funny.
but they're alluding to the fact that Sabrina Carpenter might join that.
I saw that. Yeah, that was the rumor that she was going to be in it. And then I thought that they had confirmed it, which is why I said that they had confirmed it. And I went, I'm pretty sure, having not seen the second one, only having read the Wikipedia article,
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess she's probably Amanda Seyfried's kid if she's in it.
Yeah.
That's probably. But again, what musically they reuse songs. They reuse songs in the second one. So like, what are you gonna reuse the same songs in the third one? They only have so many ABBA albums, but like, it will crush.
Yeah.
It will crush because wine moms love that movie. It's just yeah, like middle-aged women love Mamma Mia, so it will absolutely. I remember when the second one came out, people went why, and then it made $1 million at the box office. It crushed. So
Yeah. I really, we've said it a million times, but I need this pro shot. I need the Jaggalo pro shot, and I need it with Lauren Patton.
yeah, wow. I mean, that's a bit t tough because the best chance of you getting a pro shot is if it tours internationally and goes like the West End, because that's what happened with Heather's. Is the pro shot that they eventually put out was like a production from like some other country. I don't think it was from America, which I never finished. I fell asleep through the Heather's pro shot twice, and I've never finished it because I only really like two songs from that musical, and it just wasn't. I don't know why. It just wasn't doing anything for me.
That reminds me, Heather's the musical's back.
Is it?
Back on Broadway, baby.
That's one of those ones I can't believe that they've never made it into a movie.
They
Like,
they did.
no, I mean like a theatrical movie, not like a
Oh,
pro
okay.
shot movie.
Okay.
Because like
No.
kind of like the Mean Girls musical, it's just popular enough that it would do well in theaters.
Back in like the '80s or something, they did.
Oh, there's a Heather's movie that the musical, but it's not a musical. The
Yeah.
original Heather's movie is not a musical, but no, there is a Heather's
Winona
movie.
Ryder.
Yeah, with Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
The musical is based on that movie, but it's not like exactly the same.
Mm.
It's kind of like Mean Girls, where they took the movie and they made it into a musical.
Yeah.
So I'm just surprised that the musical has never been made into a movie because the musical, like, it developed weird internet popularity, which is why same thing happened with Mean Girls, which is why Mean Girls became a musical. Was because that movie or that musical was weird and popular on the internet in like 2020, especially the Martha jump truck in the flesh, dang dang diggity dang da dang.
I'm not
Movie.
looking forward to watching. I'll say it. I'm not looking forward to watching that movie. I heard it was
What?
bad.
The Mean Girls one?
Yeah.
Wednesday. Apparently, Jake. So Jake says, I'm sorry, Jake. Am I doing average intelligence with you this Wednesday? That okay. Cool. I'm cool with that. I wasn't sure if you were getting Eric. Uh, Jake says he still needs to watch Hamilton, by the way, but apparently there's a documentary now. I think there'll be a Beastars musical. Mamma Mia 3, Time to Go on Maury. Beastars in Japan, yeah. Japan. Like, there's so many musicals that you like that like it caught me out. Like, there's a Death Note musical, which if you
Oh,
watch anime, is well, yeah.
oh my God! There's this one song I cannot think of the name of the song, but I'm obsessed with it. It's from Death Note, and I love it.
Oh, really? There's never been an official American release of Death Note, but of the Death Note musical. No, that's not true. They eventually did a um production of it in London of a concert. But yeah, I like there's two songs, and there's one where it's a duet between L and Light
Mm.
called oh, I can't remember what the name of the song is called. Um But yeah, there's one song I like from that musical that's quite good. It's
Mm.
got Jeremy Jordan. He did the Spec album for it.
And for all you guys, I did a couple, like I think last week, I did the Tony Awards recap.
Ah, yes. And I hear it's good. The Death
It's
Note musical.
yes.
According to sorry, Jake asked. I hear it
Oh,
legitimately good. I've heard it's good. And as for the Tonys, I I did not pay much attention to it this year, other than I watched the Hamilton performance.
that made me cry. I hate to say it, but that made me cry.
I did watch the yeah, I did watch.
That
I
was so
look,
good.
I enjoyed it. I thought that they were doing a full show though.
The
Um,
did you catch the subtle nuance of like they're kind
I
of because they're kind of alluding to
kind
like
of
Trump.
I saw people making that connection. I don't know whether it was intentional or not, but I did see people make that connection.
I mean,
I
Jonathan Groff wore red. He wore red
yeah,
when he sang
yeah. I
his.
saw some people making I didn't make that connection. Um, but I did see people make that connection. But I other than that I didn't really there wasn't really anything this season that really like I heard a ton about that really jumped out at me. That was really anything. I did will say I saw some clips of Cynthia Erivo.
Mhm.
I always fuck up her name. I saw her hosting, and I thought that was she was really fun.
Oh my God, there was like I don't know if you saw the skit, but there was a skit with Oprah where like where Cynthia gave Oprah like a little goodie bag, and and like inside of it was like a little toy car, and like she's like, "You get a car."
That's funny. That's funny. No, I didn't see that. That's
Be,
funny.
because because that's Oprah's steal is you get a car, you get a car, you get a car.
I I want to see if I hope that because there was that bit of news I saw a while ago where she was doing 23 roles on the West End in some Dracula play. I'm really hoping something from that leaks and we can see what that's about
Yeah.
because that sounds interesting. I'm curious as to what that's going to be about. I mean, I think they should bring back because back when I was in my youth, they used to I don't know if they still do, but they used to show plays at the movie theater.
Mm.
Um, it was part of a particular like theater program. So they would show and they would play it just like they would have an entrance, like you'd walk in, walk out. Yeah, so that's why I've seen Benedict Cumberbatch be Frankenstein because they that was one of those plays. I think they should do more of those because I yeah
Mm.
even just not just musicals but just plays generally. Like I think the theater has become grossly underappreciated.
Mm. Yeah. And then in to not change the subject, but then in Disney news, Disney World news to be exact,
Oh,
they showed like the concept art of for Radiator Springs because they're gonna do like the car um ride where you like ride in the car and like race.
oh, interesting. Um, so are they expanding Radiator Experience?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jake in the chats. Fathom Events shows plays in movie theaters, which yes, we have a Canadian equivalent to that. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that's basic concept. I wasn't sure if they still did or not, because those are usually expensive. But
Yeah, I noticed that, Jake. I did see that, which I think that's where I got my tickets for when Waitress was in the movie theaters.
you would have, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. They would have shown that at a Fathom event. Yeah, they're usually at like 7 o'clock, our equivalent to them. They're usually at like 7 o'clock on like
Yeah.
a Wednesday, and you're like, oh, no, I can't. I love to, but I can't. Radiator Springs and Disney. So is that a different ride from the one they have in Disneyland, where there's a bit one where you're riding in one of the cars, and yeah, it's like you're racing, and it
No,
was
it's the
really
same one.
popular.
It's the same
Oh, it's
one.
the same one.
It's the
So
same
they're
one.
they're
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 copying it.
adding it. Gotcha. So they're adding it to Disney World, is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I
And
mean, that makes sense. It's a crazy popular ride.
and then they're adding villain, and then I think we talked about this before, but they're adding Villain's Land to Magic Kingdom.
Yes, because of all those. This is the one thing about the Disneyland parks for me that's frustrating is how much of it is impacted by the internet.
Yeah.
So that section of the park only exists because of those clips on
Yeah.
TikTok of the villains being sassy to people
Hmm.
during Halloween, and I just feel like maybe not feel, but maybe slightly concerned by. I just feel like it's not going to work as well when
Yeah.
it's year round.
Yeah.
I think what makes that special is the once a year you get to see like Judge Doom come out and it's special. I think if they had a whole land to it, I don't know. I just think it would lose its charm.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. Maybe if I saw it in person, I'd feel differently. But
See, my whole thing is, cause like they gave us the concept like a couple like 2 days ago about like how the forbidden castle, which is Maleficent's castle,
right.
it's gonna be the center of the park. It's gonna be the forefront of the
Okay.
park. And then around it, it's gonna be centered around like her roller coaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
So it's like she's gonna
Interesting.
be like the main attraction, kind of.
Huh.
Just
Okay. That's
just like
interesting.
how Cinderella is the main attraction in.
Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Huh.
like the main icon, I
Hmm.
should say.
Do we know what else is gonna be in there?
We do not. I know
No.
some of the characters. They're gonna have Cruella. They're gonna have
That makes sense.
uh Maleficent. They're finally gonna have Ursula as a
Really?
character. Yeah,
Is it a face character though, or is it a suit character?
I have no idea.
Oh, interesting.
And then Dr. Facilier,
That makes sense.
Jafar.
He's a really popular character.
He,
The fact that the Princess and the Frog is so popular is such a travesty because like yeah, all of their stuff gets getting trampled on. It sucks. I was really disappointed that her movie or her show got canceled. I do
yeah.
want to go there and
Uh,
and try the new Splash Mountain. I hear
so
it's good.
the characters are gonna be Queen of Hearts, Jafar, Evil Queen, Yzma, Cruella Deville.
Really?
Yeah,
How do you do Yzma?
I don't know.
Other, unless she's not a face character and she's a costume character.
No,
'Cause,
she's a face
like
character.
she's a face
Yeah.
character. How do
Uh,
you do Yzma?
I don't know. Cruella Deville, Captain Hook, Maleficent, Gaston, Mother Gothel,
Yeah,
uh,
those all make sense.
um, Ursula, Hades, and Chernabog.
Really?
Yeah.
He's gotta be a costume. There's no way he's.
He's like the big mountain. I think he's gonna be like the big mountain
Um,
that you made or something. I don't know how they're gonna do Chernabog.
yeah, I mean he's easy enough. You put him in a big ass costume and you hide him in a mountain. It's Yzma that I'm like either she's a costume or you do a face and yeah you do an old woman. But even then, how do you convey scary beyond all reason? How do you get that?
You don't have her as a cat.
Is she scary beyond all reason? Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I want Kronk. Like, if you're gonna get Yzma, you gotta get
If you're
Kronk
gonna
in
do
there.
Yzma, you have to do Kronk. I mean, come
You gotta do
on,
Kronk.
come
That's
on.
very odd. That's an odd. That's an odd. I mean, I as a lover of that movie, I'm down. But that's an odd choice.
Yeah.
We have major
Oop.
news right now. Iran has
Shh. I Yeah, that's an odd choice. That's an
That
odd choice. But
really is.
I'm I prefer I don't go to Disneyland very often. So by the time I actually got to Disneyland, it'd probably be gone.
Yeah.
20 years from now, exactly.
But we're not gonna get villains until like 2027 or
You
something
don't
like
think?
that. Yeah. Well,
That's fair.
that's what they're saying. That's what they're
Oh,
saying.
okay.
They announced
Interesting.
it, and I'm like, really? You're gonna do that to me? You're gonna
Yeah.
announce something really cool and then be like, nope, you gotta wait a couple of years.
That's usually how Disneyland works. They gotta build it. They gotta work on it. They gotta. I'm gonna be fair. That the thing that gets me with Disneyland right now is their animatronic technology. It just keeps like improving leaps and bounds. Like, yeah, they're so fluid now. They're so. I saw one of I can't remember which character, but it was just so fluid. I was just so impressed by it. Like it looks real. It's wild. Or my personal favorite bit of technology is the living window.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Well,
Where you're like,
I
sorry, go on.
mean, I was gonna say like, well, or actually, they didn't say 2027. They said 2027 to like 30, like 2031. I'm like, what?
I mean, well, yeah, you're gonna get it in pieces. So they'll get like probably one or two things, and then they'll get it open and they'll call it a preview, and then it'll take a couple years for it to open officially. I wouldn't be surprised. That's usually how these things
I'm
go.
literally gonna be like 40 by the time it opens. I can guarantee you.
Probably, yeah, probably. I yeah, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm not getting to Florida anytime soon. If I'm going anywhere, it's gonna be California. California
Oh
love.
boo! I want to go to California so bad.
I want to go to the one in Florida, but it's across the friggin' continent and it's very expensive.
Um,
There's a ton to do there. I've always wanted to go to that. Oh, there's a water park there, like Kahuna or like something like
yeah.
that.
I want to go to Disneyland Paris. That would be really
I mean,
cool.
don't we all want to go to? Although, no, if I'm gonna go to any international, I want to go to Disneyland Tokyo.
Tokyo. Oh, yeah, yeah. Cause back in
I heard
my
that.
first season days, I interviewed my friend Brianna, or she I um interviewed the director to the Alice in Wonderland musical, and
Oh yeah.
she was talking to me off air on like about like their Pirates of the Caribbean in like Hong Kong and stuff.
Oh.
And she showed me a video, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why don't we have this? I want this so bad."
Ah, man, they've got a really cool parade. That's like a water parade that just looks cool. I've seen clips of it. It looks really sweet.
Like you
It is
go
like really
under the
cool.
water. You go under the water in that one.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I would love to do that. Japan's a bucket list item for me. I've always wanted to go to Japan.
I mean,
But like
yeah.
I
Oh,
was gonna say, going to Tokyo, Japan feels like putting a hat on a hat. She's like, there's so many things to do in Tokyo that like, and Disneyland.
see, I mean, you technically go underwater when you ride Mickey's Runaway Railway, but
Never been on it.
it's not that good, and it just.
I've never been on Mickey's Railway because I can't stand that. Well, to be fair, it's a really new ride, but I also can't stand that version of Mickey.
Yeah.
I cannot
What
stand.
what the like the half pie eye kind of Mickey?
Yeah, the weird. He's got a weird Mickey by way of Ren and Stimpy. It's awful.
Yeah.
I also can't stand that version of Goofy. I
Cause
just no. But I mean, the technology is pretty cool. I like the when the screen blows out and it looks like it's coming into the real world. I
yeah,
love screen to life stuff. It's
yeah,
always cool.
yeah. I went on it. I wouldn't. I don't know if I would go on it again because it's just like okay, yeah, it's a ride.
It's a thing.
Just like I said to Jake when him and I reviewed Lilo Stitch. It's a thing.
It exists.
It exists.
It exists. It is achieving the bare minimum by existing, which it does. It exists. Yeah, I have to watch that still. When it comes to Disney Plus,
Yeah.
I will Probably contrive a reason to watch it for the show, because I hear it's bad. But I mean, lots of people watched it. It was really depressing because it beat Elio like this weekend at the
Oh,
box
I
office,
heard Elio
and that's
was
depressing.
bad.
Oh no, I hear it's phenomenal.
I
I hear
I
it's really
heard
good.
I heard it's not doing very good in box
Oh no,
office.
it's doing horrid, but it's apparently a really good movie. That's what's so frustrating. Is people are like, we want new and original shit, and then Pixar puts out new and we want Disney to stop making those those remakes and those whatevers, and then they put out original movies and nobody watches them. So, and instead they go and they watch the Lilo and Stitch remake instead of watching the new thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, you don't really want the new thing. My thing is like, people clearly don't want the new thing, but they have the nerve and audacity to complain about it. That's what frustrates me. It's like I will eventually go watch the new thing. I will support the new thing.
Yeah.
And then I gotta listen to all these people being like, nah, we don't want Lilo and Stitch 2, even though they keep going and watching Lilo and Stitch 1. It's really frustrating.
Mm. Well, I mean, yeah, and then what's really frustrating to me is like they're gonna do Lilo and Stitch 2 now.
They are.
They're planning on that,
Stitch
and they're actually
Stitch
gonna
has a
add
glitch,
Gantu, which is
from
like
what I've heard.
it's like why didn't you add him in the first place? But okay.
Yeah, well, I heard that rumor that they were gonna and that they were gonna have the cousins in there. All right, I don't get it. I'm guessing if they do it, the tweak will be he just works for Hamsterville. I'm sure they'll probably do Hamsterville, and he'll yeah. And I also read that they're gonna bring back Jumba and he's gonna be a good guy now completely. Just it's what?
Like
Why?
completely disregarding what the first movie did because like you already
Why?
made him the villain in the first one.
Doesn't he die at the end of the first one?
That's what Jake said. He's like, isn't he dead? I feel like he's dead.
Pretty sure he's dead. Like yeah, that's the whole. Yeah, to be fair, I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips from it, and I'm just like, it's just yeah. I stand by my stance that if you actually bothered to try and remake these movies instead of just redoing what you did before, then they would be better. I don't think there's an inherent wrong thing with casting someone different to do a different version of a character. But when you're trying to have him say the lines from the original, it just sounds like he's saying the lines from the original, but badly. I didn't hate the How to Train Your Dragon movie though. I enjoyed that. I had a good time watching that.
I I kind of need to go see it. I keep on.
Yeah, if you like the original, you'll like it. It's that, but 30 minutes longer. To be fair, it's hard for me to be impartial on that movie
People
because
are
I watched it.
people are mad that there's like this one scene that I don't even remember. But I saw the clip. There's this one scene of like all these baby dragons, that they didn't add. That's like apparently detrimental to the plot, and people are pissed at that.
I mean, I don't remember.
I don't remember. I watched it. I'm like, I don't remember
There's nothing
this.
in it. There's nothing in it because they add stuff, right?
Yeah.
They add scenes because like I say, it's 30 minutes longer. So there's occasional scenes that are longer and slightly different. Like there's a subplot where like all the Vikings now have moved to Berk to hunt dragons as opposed to just living there. Like this unnecessary additions which don't really add anything.
Mhm.
There's nothing I would describe as overly detrimental. It's just again, all it really exists to do is make the movie longer to justify to an attempt to justify its existence, which it
Yeah.
doesn't do because it's exactly the same as the original
Yeah.
fundamentally. But it's hard for me to be overly critical because A, I like How to Train Your Dragon, and B, I watched it in 4DX and I got tossed around like a rag doll. So it was kind of hard to be impartial because I had a great deal of fun. Me and Jordan and yeah, we laughed very hard. So, but that wasn't because I enjoyed the movie any
Yeah.
more than I would have. But when I'm entering into something, I'm entering in it with the intention of being critical. So it's
Yeah.
kind of changes how you watch things.
Yeah. And then the newest thing That I was a little upset about it first because I didn't like when it was announced that they got that they were gonna close the Little Mermaid under the sea adventure.
But aren't they replacing it with something better?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah.
It's
It's
called
I've seen the animatronics for it. It looks really impressive.
it's called the Little Mermaid musical adventure.
I've seen clips of it and
And
it
it,
looks relatively impressive.
I am so impressed by it. I'm so impressed by it because of just because of the fact they added the six daughters and they look so good.
Yeah, I've seen some of the animatronics. They look really impressive. I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is really neat.
King Triton looks good.
Like, yeah, they're really I've seen a bunch of like I mean the one that got me was when they were doing the Spider-Man one that flipped midair. But yeah, some of those the animatronic technology has really evolved.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like the one of Tiana for her Bayou adventure or whatever. It's so fluid looking. I was like, wow, that's really impressive looking. I was upset they got rid of Muppets. As a Muppet lover, I was like, that upset me. I was
That
like,
pissed me off.
oh, what they
I
get
got
relegated to a shitty roller
sad.
coaster?
I got
That's
sad.
I got real.
But
But also, it's an old and dated attraction and show.
yeah,
So
but they got rid of Muppets Land because they're making way for Monsters.
see, in California, the Muppets didn't have a whole land. They were part of Hollywood Studios,
Mm.
and they kind of got the one section of it where the theater is. And I don't know if they're getting rid of it in California as well, or if it's just in Florida. But I'm in the camp of people that think they should put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yep.
The actual movie itself as a short film. Um,
But
yeah, I love the Muppets.
they're not totally getting rid of the Muppets. The I can't remember the band
The Electric
the
Mayhem.
Electric Mayhem is taking over Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yes, yeah, I mean, yeah, they get a little roller coaster. I mean, I think it depends on what they do with that roller coaster. To be fair, I've heard that roller coaster is all right. It's like it's not
Mm.
it's nothing special.
Although there's this like thing where like he, there's a part where like Steven Tyler's hand goes like this and it's like I love that idea and like you can see like his like pinky like completely disappears and there's everyone's like there's like gags about it all over the internet. It's so funny.
I understand why they cut that because why they want to get rid of that because or change it because yeah, a random Aerosmith roller coaster in the middle of Disneyland or a Disneyland, I suppose, does feel kind of weird. I will say that. This is my opinion. It feels kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just thematically, I understand why they wanted to switch it out, swap it out for something. Um, yeah, yeah. I was upset by that. Oh, they're getting a cruddy roller coaster that nobody even really likes anyway.
Mm.
Um, yeah. Um,
Other than that, that's all for the Disney news that I have.
you have that's all the Disney news you have?
Yep.
Um, trying to think if there's anything interesting
I have
that's
Broadway news.
happening.
I have Broadway news.
What is your Broadway news?
Yesterday, actually last night, um, the last 5 years took its final bow.
Oh, is that the one with Nick Jonas that's really bad?
Yep.
Yeah, no,
He's
that
too
doesn't surprise me.
pop.
I have to be fair, yeah, that I don't know how to describe it, but the sound of that musical, I think I said at the time, it really gives me Paul and Pasek,
Mm.
like a Dear Evan Hansen kind of style musical,
Yep.
and yeah, Jeremy Jordan absolutely nailed it in the movie.
Yeah.
So did Anna Kendrick, and as soon as I saw that it was Nick Jonas, I was like, I don't see it.
See,
Just don't see
no,
it.
you don't see it. You can't.
I don't see it. He's Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah, something about him. Where it's like I want to say he's too the exact kind of guy who that. But then I'm like, well, then maybe he is suited for it. But he's vocally,
He's
he
like
just doesn't.
he's too pop with it. You know, his like his vocal range is like too pop.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it's because he's been in the Jonas Brothers for so long. He can't like he can't like do that like musical theater kind of.
But he just, I don't think he's ever been a particularly strong musical theater singer.
Yeah.
Like I've seen clips of him as in How to Succeed in Business,
Mm.
and it was like, nah, Daniel Radcliffe was better. Like, he was
Yeah.
just better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, no, he's never really been anything that I would consider. But he started out on Broadway. That's where he started.
Yeah.
He was Chip on my friends. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. But he was Chip on Broadway in Beauty and the Beast. That's where he started.
Okay, I kind of want to see that now because that's
I
adorable.
think you can probably find it somewhere. I think it was Chip. I'm pretty sure it was Chip.
That's adorable.
I might be confusing. No, yeah, because I think it was Gaten Mazzarato. He was. No, I mispronounced that. He
Gaten
was in.
Mazzarato was in Les Mis.
Yeah, he was in Les Mis. I think I was confusing them. He was Gavroche.
Yeah, Gavroche. Um, Speaking of Chip, though, now that you just said Chip, because now I have this stuck in my head. This is a sneak peek for you, but in the next episode, that's gonna kick off season 3. Or no, are we on season? Yeah, we're on season. It's gonna kick off season 4. We are going. I interviewed Bradley Pierce.
That's pretty cool. Took me a minute to figure out who he was. I was like, who? I don't recognize him by name. And then you told me what he was in. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Jumanji. He played Peter Shepard in Jumanji.
Yeah. It's funny because you messaged me.
Robin Williams.
You messaged me an answer to. I had a question about it. You messaged me the answer. It took me a minute to be like, oh right, yeah. The makeup for the being the monkey.
Mhm.
I was like, man, that must have been a nightmare as an 8-year-old or however old he was.
And
Sure.
he got to work with Angela Lansbury. Angela Lansbury played Mama in The Beauty and the Beast.
Did they record together?
No, but still, that's
That's
cool.
That's still pretty cool. I mean, probably would have met her on the like the promotional tour, I assume. Yeah, that musical's kind of or that movie is kind of amazing because it's just all Broadway people.
Yeah.
Like it's all Broadway singers, like performers. Like that was really before they kind of were like, we need big time celebrities to sell this. So yes, you had Angela Lansbury, and there's someone else who in there, and a couple other people in there who were like massive on Broadway. I think the lady who plays Belle was also whose name is escaping me.
Paige O'Hara.
Yeah, Paige O'Hara. I think she was also on Broadway.
Mhm.
The guy who plays the Beast, I believe, was a Broadway guy.
Judy Coon, who voices Pocahontas, she was in Fun Home on Broadway.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that movie is problematic. I love that movie. It has holds a special place in my heart, but it is problematic. Um, yeah, Chip and Beauty and the Beast. I mean, I was never a big Beauty and the Beast guy. I was always way more of an Aladdin kid.
Yeah.
That's where my love is. That's where my heart belongs. I grew up watching the show, which they need to put on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
They need to put the hashtag put Aladdin on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That and House of Mouse. House of Mouse and Aladdin. They should put on Disney Plus because both of those shows are really fun.
Yeah, he was not to give too much away, but he was telling me a bunch of stories about Robin Williams, how he stood
That's
up,
rad.
how he stood up for him as a kid
Oh, really?
on the set. Yeah,
I mean, that sounds like real. I hear he was a pretty cool dude.
he was.
I heard he was like when they did kids movies, like he would the guy who's in if you see Mrs. Doubtfire, I'm sure you've seen Mrs.
Oh
Doubtfire.
yeah.
The guy who plays the son, Matthew Lawrence. He talked about how Robin Williams never he always talked to you like you were a person, like not like you were just some like kid who was in
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to meet him and I didn't. And I regret it. Because he was doing shows here in I can't remember what year. It was right around the time he died. It was like it was like a big tour.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one. Weapons of Self-Destruction tour. That's what it was. He was here for like 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of friends who went down downtown, and they knew where he was gonna be post show, and they all met him. And I could have done it, and I chose not to, and I regret it because he seemed like he was really chill.
Yeah, I mean, I think that and Angela Lansbury, those are the two people. Well, and Olivia Newton-John. I think those are the three people that I am so sad about that I will never ever be able to interview them on my show.
Oh yeah, I mean Angela Lansbury is a legend.
Yeah.
She reminds me of my grandma. She looks like my grandma. It's really funny. Um, yeah, I quite like her as Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd. She was
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Mm.
That's it. If you can find for the longest time, that pro shot was on YouTube.
Oh.
Where it was her, it was George Hearn. Um, and they took it down, and I don't know if you could still find it. It was like a PBS pro shot that they shot. She's really good. She's really good at Mrs. Lovett. Like the thing that people kind of don't realize watching the Tim Burton movie is that Mrs. Lovett is not supposed to be hot. Like she's supposed to be old.
Yeah.
That's what makes because like that's what makes her being in love with Sweeney Todd kind of odd. Because you're like, whoa, why wouldn't he want to be with her? She's Helena Bonham Carter. She's hot. Because in the original source material, she's not supposed to be. She's supposed to be an older woman. Fun fact about that musical. And Olivia Newton-John. I mean, yeah, I grew up watching Grease, so I love Olivia Newton-John.
Hmm.
She passed away. She passed away, did she?
Cancer.
How did I not know that? I feel like I knew that.
Cancer got her.
Oh, yeah. I guess the best of us.
And
I guess the
if I remember correctly, she remissioned and then it just like came back and then
Oh, that sucks. That's even worse.
yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I think I'm through this, and then you're not, and you're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't think I am. I could be wrong though.
I believe you. That's the thing that can happen
Yeah.
to yeah, that's a that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. Also Kristen Dunst Kristen Dunst in Jumanji.
Yep.
Kid Kristen Dunst.
Yep.
Um,
He was
yeah,
telling me those stories too, and
that's pretty neat.
yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah, I'm always like, oh man, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? How'd you land these people? I get so anxious emailing these people. Like I'm like every time I'm like I remotely feel the courage. I'm like, nah, man, I don't know what to say to them.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. Is with Bradley, he's a friend of a friend, so that just worked out in my favor for some odd reason. Bill Farmer, that was just like fucking luck. That was just fucking luck.
So you just emailed his manager and you were like, hey, I do a podcast called Part of Your Broadway World Podcast. You want to come hang out for 30 minutes? Or like is it just that simple?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, but I don't know. We've tried. We're in the process of like creating a thing that will facilitate talking to famous people because otherwise I'm like, I mean, you've done my show. How on earth do I invite like famous people into that? How on earth do I'm like, yeah, so you're gonna come and we're gonna talk about movies kind of aimlessly for about 3 to 4 hours. And it's gonna be on Discord.
Willpower and luck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's my thing is we need to get off of Discord. We need to get on Zoom. That's like my number one.
Yeah.
My number one thing. But it's just Zoom is just so expensive. And the free version you only get 40 minutes of chat.
Yeah.
Otherwise I gotta pay.
I pay like $100 or something like that on here for the pro. I mean,
oh yeah, that's not bad.
I don't care. Like, you know, it's worth it.
Is that for an hour?
Yeah.
I mean, not for an hour.
It's
for a year?
Yeah, for a year.
$100 for a year.
I pay like yearly, and what was I saying? Oh, and then I get unlimited time.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're talking and we want to because we have so much any technical difficulty we've ever had on the stupid show is all because of Discord. So we're constantly like we want to switch over to Zoom, but I just it's just one more thing I'd have to pay for. I don't
Except
know.
for my technical difficulty that I had last time I was on your show. But that wasn't my fault. That
That
was
wasn't
the
your fault.
stupid people that cut the wire to the power plant thing.
I've been there. I mean, in my case, it was some drunk idiot crashing into the power plant, the pole.
Yeah.
But I definitely related. I was like, oh yeah, no, I relate. That I've been there. That's frustrating.
I,
Cable
I,
companies are the friggin' worst.
I remember I messaged you. I was like, okay, like this happened. Like we have
Yeah.
power, but we don't have internet. We don't have cable. We don't got nothing of that.
Yeah, that happened to us. We were out of power for like a day and a half, and then our power came back on, and then our internet was out for another half a day, almost day. I think it was 12, 14 hours by the time it came back on, 15 hours, something ridiculous like that. And yeah, I called the cable company and they sure got an earful. I felt really bad. I wish to be compensated.
I wish
And they're
to
like,
be
you know what your account
compensated.
is? You know what your account is? And I was like, no, because I don't have internet to check. Yeah, I was really agitated. I talk a big game when I'm agitated, but I never actually
I
follow
just
through.
like the fact that you're like, no, actually, no, I don't, because I don't have the means to check.
I don't get a physical bill. I do all my banking I do online. So yeah, and I don't have any data.
Like
So no, I don't have any internet. Can't check this thing.
that's what I mean. Is it's like this is 2025. We don't have physical bills anymore, but you can
No,
do
who,
it
who has a physical
online.
bill? Exactly. Who has a physical bill? We all do it online now. This
Yeah.
is dumb. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It's like, oh, you only need these things when like, yeah, you don't have them. As yeah. It's very agitating. Very, very, very agitating. Trying to think if there's any interesting I have any interesting Disney news. I'm just trying to think. Or any Broadway news that I heard. No. I'm looking forward to judging that Hamilton. I promise to be a fair and impartial judge, even though I actually like that musical. So
I
I'm
was
sure,
about to say, you better let me
sure,
win.
I'm sure both sides, I'm sure both sides will provide a compelling and reasonable argument.
I don't know if Jake's still in here, but if he is, I hope he doesn't hear this. But I will bribe you.
I I do not I will not accept bribes. I will be perfectly fair and perfectly balanced. You make the check out to no, I'm kidding. No, it's really funny when he said some of his initial. It's like, you know what? It's a valid point. It's a valid point. I I to be fair, Hamilton is the only Lin-Manuel Miranda musical I actually liked.
Yeah,
I did not care for In the Heights.
I
Um,
love In the Heights.
none of the music I thought was as good as Hamilton. But to be fair to In the Heights, um, it came out first, and that was his first musical.
Yeah,
So like, I gotta give it credit. And
yeah.
I don't know. He's never really done anything else. He is working on something right now. I think he's doing another one of those test albums, but
Mm,
he hasn't really there hasn't really been anything.
what they call it, Warriors or something like that. What's
Yeah, it was
that
based on
the
the
one?
Warriors. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to watch the Warriors. That's the one that's on my list of movies I've always wanted to watch. But again,
My whole thing is if we do this, if we do this trial, will this affect my chances of ever getting Lin Manuel Miranda ever on my show?
I mean, I know because you're the nice one. It would affect Jake's chances of getting Lin-Manuel Miranda on his show, and perhaps me on mine.
Do you even think that he would even want him on his show?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, talking to celebrities, no matter who they are, I feel like is always going to have a level of interest. And that world is so foreign to me that I'd have non-musical related questions
Yeah,
for him.
yeah,
Like for me, it's always just like the notion of like not being able to go out in public.
yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
not that I'm arrogant enough to think I'd ever get famous, but that's like my line for fame is like famous enough that I get invited to conventions where I can get paid to do convention appearances, but not so famous that I can't go to the grocery store. That's where my line is. I'm
Yeah.
like that's kind of that's where I'd like to be.
Mm.
Where we're actually funny. We're over at the Spur of the Moment podcast, theoretically working on our first live appearance. Um,
But for all you guys wondering, I'm putting everyone that came on today links down below.
yeah.
So check them out and check out the episode I did with them. We talked about Jagged Little Pill and like all the other musicals.
Did
But Jagged Little Pill's the only one that's important.
that
So I'm gonna just mention that one.
that one is its I mean, to be fair, if you want to see anything that we talked about on when Haley we had Haley on, I separated all my favorites out into videos that you can watch. You don't have to watch the full 4 hour podcast. You can just watch the video about Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah.
I think it's called Jagged Little Pill. They should make this into a movie, which I believe is objectively correct. I think there was one I took the Grease. I made a video out of Grease, Mamma Mia. I can't remember what other one I did. But yeah, if you're like, I don't want to watch a full 4 hour podcast, you can come on over to just the YouTube channel and watch the individual videos. I believe I tagged you in all of them.
Yes,
I
you did.
believe.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
that's your fatal flaw, Justin. It's like 4 hours long.
Yeah, that is my fatal flaw. I can't help it. Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm half the problem in that case, but I'm slightly okay with it only because it gives me like my number one recommendation for anyone doing a podcast is create as much content that you can recycle. Um, so like, if you have a 2 hour podcast, slice it up into chunks and you put it out as its own that's the one nice thing about ours is because it's segmented, I can take the segment about Jagged Little Pill and I can turn it into its own YouTube video, and YouTube loves that. They love that. They view that as its own a separate watch time, even though it's technically
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. And you know what? That just gave me the instant to just, make. I didn't put any sponsors down below because I kind of forgot. Oopsie.
I forget
kinda
all
forgot.
the time.
But I'm gonna make RT Media the sponsor of this.
Oh yeah, you should go check them out. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's some few great podcasts. There's one where it's a musical Broadway Disney musical podcast that just had their 2 year anniversary. You could check them out. Jake was here earlier. He's got multiple podcasts.
Yeah.
I do a few with him. One of them is a Star Trek one. And last year when you did your 1 year, the Virus, he does Toon Talk.
Yep.
He also is competing to perform at I can't remember where off the top of my head, but you can vote for him for that. And yeah, there's the Goosebumps guys. And if you want to start your own podcast, they're also great for that. I mean, we wouldn't be here if Jake hadn't helped us start our own podcast.
Yep.
He's very helpful. He's got, if you join the network, a whole playlist of how to create your own stuff. Um, yeah, he's also pretty chill. We're all pretty chill. We all.
Except for when you and him are on my podcast, where you both are completely.
I like to think of that more as I like to think of that more as undogged enthusiasm. Just pure enthusiasm. We're just enthusiastic about talking about whatever the topic is of the week. Which
But then get this, guys. They both, and you've probably seen these episodes, but they both derailed the conversation like 25 million times. I'm like,
hey, I'm trying to be better. And the irony of that is I was one of those guys in high school where my teachers used to give me shit for not putting enough detail in my answers.
yeah.
So, I was the guy who was like, I can answer this question in a sentence. Why should I need to elaborate? Why do an essay? I can answer this in 2 sentences or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch Joe Rogan and be like, I don't know how those guys talk for 4 hours.
Yeah.
That seems impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Jordan, we have a failed pilot for a podcast we called Live from Justin and Jordan's Couch, where it was just us on a couch.
Mm-hmm.
And we managed to squirt out an hour, no, like not even like 10, 15 minutes. Now it's like, yeah, we struggle not to do 3 hours. It's
Yeah.
very funny.
So I want you guys to do this for me real quick. I want you to, in the comments down below, or even in the chat. Oh, even in the chat. I went to my own microphone. Even in the chat, or even down in the comments after this live, comment your favorite Broadway musical podcast episode of the Party Broadway podcast, or
Oh.
and also your favorite problem episode with the problems.
I have two. I have
Okay.
two. Uh, I think
And-
the Wicked one is
And
the one.
then, and then also your favorite Disney.
Okay, favorite Disney thing ever?
Yeah, like my
Ever.
favorite, like the episode that we did.
Oh,
there.
okay. Well, okay. I mean, I'll start us off. I mean, the first my favorite episode involving me is probably the Wicked one. Um, and then the one not involving me is, I mean, it's Goofy. It's always going to be Goofy. It's
Duh.
Goofy. It's obviously Goofy.
Yeah.
And then uh oh, I mean, I don't know which Disney ones have you done so far? I mean, I really like the ones where you talk to the people from Disneyland. That was really fun.
Yeah.
That was really
Disney World,
informative.
yeah.
Yeah, Disney World. Yeah, I enjoy the ones where you talk to professionals because that's really
Yeah.
insightful and really interesting.
Yep.
I joke, but I the ones I'm involved with the laziest as far as I'm concerned. I just kind of show up. Yeah, unless it's one involved. Oh no, actually that's not true. No, that's not true. I'm gonna amend the Wicked one. I'm gonna say my favorite one that involves me is the My Fair Lady, the first one I did.
Yeah.
Because I was so surprised. I expected more pushback on
Yeah.
on that one. I was so surprised people agreed with us. How thoroughly people agreed that was a bad movie.
It's like it's a bad musical. It's just
It is a bad musical.
It's bad musical, man.
That's the only time doing this show. As I like to come on to shows and be prepared. So when you're like, oh, you want to come talk about Lilo and Stitch? I'm like, oh, but I would have to talk about Lilo and Stitch for that to happen. So whenever you're like, you want to come on and do this? I'm like, you gotta give me some notice so I can like fold in.
Yeah.
Like, because on this week, I guess I'll shamelessly self-promote, but this week on our show, I'm talking about puppets. So I'm going to talk about it's bring your own topic is so Jordan's talking about movies related to toys, and I'm going to talk about Muppets, which is really so. Wait, are you a Muppet person at all?
I mean, I'm like the original Muppets, like Kermit and
Oh,
stuff.
okay. Well, did you grow up watching Sesame Street?
Yes, I grew up.
Yes,
on
okay.
Sesame Street.
Have you ever seen Follow That Bird?
I have not.
You have not seen Follow That Bird. Follow That Bird is the Big Bird movie. It's very, very, very quickly, very basically, it's Big Bird gets taken away and he's trying to get back to Sesame Street. That's what
I'll
it's
say
about.
this: Big Bird scared me as a kid.
That is completely fair. That is completely fair. Yeah, there's a lot of Sesame Street that freaked me out as a kid. But I watched that movie this morning and it is very weird. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of me watching stuff from the Muppets. I'm gonna probably watch some of if you haven't seen Electric Mayhem, that show is really good. Uh, yeah, there's a show that or movie called the Happy Fun Time Murders that was directed by Jim Henson's son Brian Henson. I'm gonna watch that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some puppet stuff and some toy stuff. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, so like this week, if you're like, oh yeah, you want to talk about Waitress, I'd be like, you gotta give me a couple days so I can fit Waitress in and amongst the puppets.
Yeah.
That's usually yeah. Other than that, no, I just show up. That's why I liked Wicked. It was like I don't have to actually watch this movie. I could just show up and not know what I'm talking about.
And don't you guys worry. This isn't the last you're gonna see of Justin or Jake. I'm far from done.
I I appreciate that. I will. Hey man, I will. As long as you give me notice, I can make anything work. That's. I like coming on here. I like being a problem. Although I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. Because there's times where I'm like, I feel like it's hard. It's hard when you host your own show
Yeah.
to like come into someone else's show and like let go of that control.
Yeah.
So it's like a little like, okay, I gotta just let other people
Yeah.
do their thing. Um,
Um,
but yeah, no, I will, I will be here on Sunday to judge this Hamilton.
yeah, yeah. And then also, if you haven't seen my video, I reacted to the Wicked trailer, which I cried
Ah, yeah, that was really cool.
like 75,000 times. I cried. Um, and that episode will be coming out in November, so keep your
I
eyeballs
am,
on
I
it.
am, I'm excited for that. Yeah, me and Jordan were flip-flopping on whether or not we might actually go see that in theaters or not, or if we'll do a months late episode on that again, like we did the first one. But I am excited. I did see that trailer. I will say I did rag on nothing against the movie. I just thought it was a really superhero-y. Like my favorite bit in the trailer was when she reaches out and it does a duh, duh, and she grabs the thing and she puts it on. She's like, "I'm off to see the wizard," and it's just the tone is so weird because that's not what this movie is. It's not that kind of movie.
But
So it made me laugh.
that part, that I'm off to see the Witcher was a different part though in the movie.
Well, it's what's funny though is yeah, again it's a weirdly edited trailer, but you could see in the background the multicolored dance floor, and then earlier in the trailer you could see a shot of them dancing
okay.
on it. So like that bit is clearly leading into that musical number.
Yeah. Okay. To be fair though, like I kind of love the fact because in the stage play, that Glinda is in Wonderful in that song in the song Wonderful.
Oh, is that what that song is? Oh,
So
okay, that's so funny.
So to have Glinda in there is kind of iconic.
So watching the first part and having no clue as to what's coming in the second part has been interesting. Because yeah, that trailer did confirm some of my theories about what's coming in this story.
And I
What
loved that we got like a full face shot of the lion.
That was really cool. So based upon obviously seen this play, do you think we're gonna get to see Dorothy
No,
speak, or is it always gonna be like off camera?
it's gonna be off camera. I can tell you that right now.
Like we're only ever gonna see her
100%.
from
Yeah.
the back of the head, like
Yep.
it is in the trailer. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yep, I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, that trailer
100%
was
sure.
giving me like this looks like it's the whole movie. Like yeah, the bit where he like tosses the broom at her, I'm like that looks like that's the end of the movie. Like
Yeah,
that looks like that's from the climax.
Yeah, because in the stage musical, um, we don't see Dorothy at all. So to have seen just glimpses of her,
Interesting.
that's still different. It's still different,
Oh, how interesting. Oh, okay. Interesting.
but at least we get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
have to
Oh.
see her face. We don't have to hear her talk. We can just get that.
Oh, you just
Because-
get yeah,
Yeah, because this isn't Wizard of Oz. This is Wicked, which is
you're
like,
right.
completely different canon.
I should have.
They're canonically like on the same length,
Yeah,
but they're separate canons.
it's one of those you think you know the story, but you don't actually know the story kind
Yeah.
of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look. I'm down. I'll be interesting to see if it's as long as the first one though. I think it'll probably be
It
shorter.
is. I think it is.
You think it's gonna be as
I
long as the first
100%
one?
think it is.
I don't doubt it. Only in the sense that with new songs you could fill it out. Because I'm
Yeah.
like usually the second act is usually shorter, but if they're gonna add new songs, I could see how they would fill it out. I just I did think it was funny. I occasionally watch John Oliver,
Yeah.
and he made a joke where he was like, "Wicked is 30 minutes too long," and that made me laugh because it was validating. Because I said the same thing, and then you got mad at me.
See, my thing too is like, okay. What's really sad to me is like if you're thinking about if you like think in the back of your mind of like what Ariana, the person, is going through during filming the second part.
Was she having a bad time?
Like she was going through a divorce
Oh, I did not know
by
that.
that when they filmed for good.
I just saw that she was uncomfortably thin, and I was like, "Ooh, that poor girl needs a hamburger."
And I think cinematically, I love the fact that like it's like kind of weird, but kind of also like the symbolism is kind of great too. But she was going through a divorce at that time, and you see her in a wedding dress getting married.
Oh,
So
interesting.
like it just like that symbolism right there is just kind of like
I'm just excited. Look, in this next part, I know one song. I know one song, and it's the title song. I was really stoked to hear it. I like the arrangement of For Good, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm looking for that's the part. It's gonna get me because that for
That's the
whatever
part
reason that song gets me every time. I don't know
That's the
what it
part
is.
I like. You can see in my eyes, like I'm like tearing up in that.
Yeah,
Watching that part of the trailer, I'm like visibly, like tearing up.
but also I that's the song I love from Glee. I love the Glee version. That's a really in terms of narratively on that show, that's a really satisfying moment because they're both on
Yeah.
Broadway singing. And it's really well done. Um, that was still when I liked that show. So, yeah, the only reason why I know anything from Wicked is because of Glee. That's
Yeah.
it's like that with a lot of songs. I like the Glee version better.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of Darren Criss. I've become a fan of Darren Criss over the years. So like I like his version of somebody I used to know, him and Matt Bomer. Um, highly, if you like Matt Bomer, um, highly recommend Doom Patrol. Even if you just watch, there's one scene in Doom Patrol where he's singing, I can't remember what he's saying. It's like a Pink song or something, but he does this big musical number and it's so good, so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and Fighter, their version of Derek Chris's version of Fighter is so good. But this isn't a Glee podcast.
Yeah. No. No. I want to do
Now,
one.
I could talk about Glee.
I would like
Hey,
to do one.
I would
Actually.
absolutely come on and if you do a Glee episode, let me know because I will work that into
I also
I'll work
want.
that into my show.
Yeah. I also really want to do what you and Jordan did. I want to do like the decoms. I want to
Oh
do
yeah, well,
decoms
we're
on
gonna
my
we're
show.
gonna have I'm probably gonna ask you to come on. I mean, I'll come on to your show and we'll talk some decoms.
Yeah.
The only reason why I didn't ask you on for that one was because I had a pretty sinking suspicion you had probably never heard of most of them.
I
Or
loved
did
all
you
of them. What are you talking
really
about?
you've seen all the ones we talked about from
Yes.
oh fascinating. I was fully expecting you to be like I'm too young to have seen the one where the kid turns into the mermaid
I love that
or
one. That one was my favorite as a kid.
or the one where the twins play basketball. I was not expecting you. Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna ask you for the because we cut off at 2005.
Yeah.
That was the year we cut off
Yeah.
at. So we're gonna do a part two eventually where we do 2005 on.
Yeah.
And that's where we because we wanted to get like Hatching Pete, um, Time or Minutemen,
Did you do
all those
Xenon?
guys.
Did you do
No,
Xenon?
we did not hit Xenon. I was gonna put Xenon in. I fully expected Jordan to do Xenon. He really wanted to do Phineas and Ferb. I would like to watch because I haven't seen the Candace one. I would like to watch
I
that.
need to watch the new season. I want to also.
I hear it's good. I hear it's
wanna-
really good.
I also want to do a Finish and Ferb episode one day.
But yeah, yeah, yes, yeah. But yeah, if you ever do Glee, I will fold that into my show. I want to fold that into my show because George started rewatching it. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think I can get through 6 seasons of it in a week, but especially at 40 minutes an episode.
Mm-mm.
But I'd like to watch that original 13 because I maintain that original 13 episodes is some of the best satire
Yeah.
ever. Of like especially because the thing about that people don't fully get about Glee in retrospect is that show came out at the height of High School Musical.
Yeah.
So it's a biting satire of high school. Like Kurt is supposed to be Ryan from High School Musical.
Mm.
Finn is supposed to be Troy. The reason why Rachel is a brunette is because she's a smash of both Gabrielle and of Sharpay.
Yeah.
Like she's supposed to look like Gabrielle but have Sharpay's personality.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ever like, I want to do a Glee episode, I will find an excuse to do it on my show so that I can
Okay.
do much more of the episodes. But no, yeah, when we do decoms again, I was gonna be like, hey, you want to go talk about decoms from like when you were a kid?
Mhm.
So wait, they played those really ancient ass old ones when you were a kid too?
Yeah. I love Xenon.
That's so funny.
Zetus Lapidus was like my favorite catchphrase.
That is so funny.
Zetus
Because
Lapidus.
like, what about the one where it's Frankie Muniz and he's in a wheelchair? That's Miracle in Lane 2.
I don't think I've seen that.
No,
one.
you didn't see that one? Oh, so now I'm so fascinated. What other ones did I do? The Mermaid one, Luck of the Irish. That's
Luck of
one
the
Jordan
Irish. I
did.
love that one. That one
Love
was
that
my
movie.
favorite.
That was really good. Oh, the one where it's Shia LaBeouf, and he's got the developmental disability. That was the one I said aged really badly.
Yeah.
Um, True Confessions.
Even, I don't think so. No,
No,
those ones I don't remember.
no,
Even
those are the
Stevens
Hallmark
was a
ones.
little weird though.
I love Even Stevens. Jordan watched the movie for the show, and I love that. I love that show. That to me is I'll always see Shia LaBeouf as Louis Stevens because no matter what he does wrong in the world, like I love that show.
Yeah.
What's the other one? I watched Starstruck with the guy from
I
Sunny
loved
with a
that
Chance.
movie.
That movie's funny
It's
because
hilarious.
he doesn't sing. He sings one song in that entire movie. One song. They play the same song twice. He sings one song. The guy who Sterling, whatever the guy main lead guy. And then they have another guy do all that, but he doesn't sound anything like him.
Yeah.
So like the movie opens with it, and it's a good song. Starstruck, I like that song, but they don't sound anything alike, so it sounds really
Yeah.
bad. It's really funny. What's the other one? There's one more.
Have you seen Cloud 9?
No, never seen Cloud Nine.
It has Dove Cameron in it, and it's not.
Oh, that would be why I've never seen it.
It's not great, but it's a thing.
If it's past, I want to say, kind of Camp Rock 2
yeah,
is kind of the space where
it was around the time that Liv and Maddie, that show.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's past me. I stopped watching Disney yet. So I've never gotten into like Austin and Ally.
Yeah.
Like we talked about it where on my show where those movies tend to feature who's popular at that moment.
Yeah.
And so Dove Cameron, China, Logan and Jake Paul, what was the other one? The one he was in Teen Beach Movie. He was
Ross.
yeah, something Ross something, yeah. I can't remember what his show was. But he was the rock star. He did the one where he was the rock star.
Yeah.
But anyway, Teen Beach Movie, that's all of that. I didn't see any of that. That's way past my time.
Teen Beach Movie is not good. I'll say that right now. It's not good.
I've heard it's not very good.
It's
To be
not
fair,
good.
those movies look like they got lazier
It's
as they've gone
campy.
on.
It's campy. You know how how some of the Disney Channel movies are campy.
Yeah.
But some of them are like bad campy.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, that was one. It was Pixel Perfect.
Pixel Perfect. I love that show. I loved it.
Really? That movie was really bad. It was not very good.
Yes, it was. Don't lie.
It was utter nonsense, and it was.
Don't you dare.
To be fair, a lot of those movies felt like they were adult movies that were rewritten into being Disney. But yeah, that one was that was a mishmash of a mess of a movie.
I still have that CD.
Really?
I still have that CD of that soundtrack.
The funniest part is the hologram singer. You'd be like, you're doing too much. My favorite bit in that movie. I made a joke of it on the show, but my favorite bit in that movie is the beginning where they're auditioning and there's the Simon Cowell type guy, and he's like, "What if you stopped playing your guitar and did a little dance instead?" You're like, "Well, I mean, they're a 3-piece band. They wouldn't sound good." And then they don't sound good because they're a 3-piece band. And he's like, "Oh, you sound bad." Well, yeah, because you've removed 1/3 of the music in this band. Of course they sound bad.
Confessions of the
Maybe
Drama
laugh.
Queen.
Yeah, oh yeah. That one I think was a theatrical movie. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was. But
That's Lindsay Lohan.
I love that movie, which is weird
I do
because
too.
I didn't love Lindsay Lohan
Really? Oh man, I used to have a major crush on her.
when I was younger, but I've grown to kind of appreciate. Actually, no, that's a lie. I did like her, but I was still kind of trying to get to know her because I saw her in
Fair.
Herbie, but that's the only thing I've seen her in.
Oh, see, man, I grew up in The Parent Trap, so I've loved her ever since The Parent Trap. Yeah, Herbie, I really enjoyed.
The
Teenage Drama Queen was like, yeah, I was start. Yeah, I was really into that movie.
Isn't
I like the song like a lot.
Isn't the one that played Lindsay Lohan's twins' mom? Isn't she no longer alive? I believe she's no longer with us.
That I cannot say. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know her well enough
It's
to
just
know.
really sad because I would have really loved a Parent Trap sequel, but we can't do it without her.
I mean, you could.
No, you can't.
Or is it,
Sorry.
you got Dennis Quaid. I mean, the only way to really do it is you cut out the parents, the original parents, and then Lindsay Lohan is doing the Parent Trap now. But that's a tough one. That one you kind of got to do a. I mean, to be fair, it's sort of implied that the Lindsay Lohan remake
Mhm.
and the original are both in the same universe because
Mhm.
the original g girlfriend is
Yeah.
in the remake.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited for the Freaky Friday, the
Oh,
Freakier
Freakier
Friday.
Friday. Oh,
I saw the trailer for that.
I told Jake this and everyone that's listening. You get to be the first ones to know. We are doing that episode. We are
I'm pretty
definitely
excited
doing that
about that.
episode.
Like Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis look like they're having like just like so much fun. Like they just look like they're having an absolute blast. And my favorite bit was when they brought back Chad, like they bring back Chad Michael Murray, and he doesn't look like he's changed one iota.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that movie looks really fun. I don't know, that's going to theaters, right? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's going to theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised that's not going straight to Disney Plus. Like that's crazy.
They need to finish Zootopia though, like because that trailer I saw did not look finished.
Oh yeah, no. I saw a really funny comment that was like, "Do we have a trailer?" No, we have concepts of a trailer.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed by that. That's not what I wanted it to be, but I knew it was never gonna be because what I wanted Zootopia 2 to be was I wanted it to be about police brutality and police corruption
Yeah.
and trying to be a good cop in a system of bad cops, not like this weird mystery undercover story they're doing. Like I don't know. The first one was social commentary, and this just feels like it's not gonna be that, and that's part of what makes that first movie interesting to me
I
is the
saw
social commentary.
I saw somewhere it said that like this one is gonna focus on like the origin of Zootopia
Really?
of
Okay, interesting.
and like someone's trying to get like this book and like
Ah,
to like
interesting.
to like learn the secrets of Zootopia, but and like Judy Hopps and everyone is trying to like get the book first, but before that other person gets it.
Yeah, so far as I know, the plot as I know of it right now is yeah, there's the snake who's played by I forget the actor's name, Asian fellow, from Everywhere, Everything All at Once, guy who won the Oscar. But yeah, he's a snake and he's come to Zootopia for some mysterious reason, and everyone's chasing after him, and yeah, they go like undercover and like help him out.
Mm.
And yeah, I had not heard that it was tied into the origins of Zootopia. That is kind of sort of moderately more interesting to me. But otherwise, yeah, no, I was kind of hoping for something with a bit more depth, but I really like the first one, so I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm yeah, I'm excited for that one. Um, I made me lose my train of thought though.
Yeah.
Nope, completely gone. Well, I don't know how we got on Zootopia 2. I don't know what that was connected to.
Mm.
Nope, brain completely skipped a beat. Mine's like a lazy Susan. I'm sure it'll come back to me. Um,
But yep, all of this to say, look out for a
oh,
couple. Oh,
Freaky Friday, that's what it was. Yeah, no, um I oh that was the connection. I'm happy it's going to theaters because Disenchanted got screwed by being straight to Disney Plus. That was a theatrical movie that should have gone to theaters.
I didn't
And what
like it. I did not like Disenchanted. I'll say
really? Oh,
I hated it.
I quite like Disenchanted. I mean,
It was
it's
stupid.
weird. It's weird that it's the same plot as WandaVision, but
That was stupid. That was so stupid.
I had specific criticisms of it that are completely not coming to me at the moment, but my big thing just was like, yeah, this feels like I think it was like this is 5 years too late, and it should have gone to theaters. It would have made a boatload of money.
Yeah.
I seem to recall that was my main criticism of that.
I love Maya Rudolph, but just no. It's just
But yeah, no, I was
no.
saying yesterday we need more low budget, like Disney in particular. Like we need to get to a place where not everything needs to crack $1 billion. Like we need to do more modestly budgeted $5 million movies that we can put in the theaters, and then they can make like 30, 40 million and like technically be a hit and technically make money, but not be like outrageously successful. But that's just my opinion. I think budgets in Hollywood have ballooned to untenable proportions. That's why anytime anyone's like the Disney remakes all the time, Disney, because they make money,
Yeah.
sadly, unfortunately.
But all of this to say, look out for those episodes. Check out our sponsor, Arte Media. I will have that sponsor down below after this live because I cannot believe
There's some pretty
that.
chill dudes over there. And gals and dudes.
Yeah. Check out Spur of the Moment podcast. I'll have those
Sundays
links
at 11.
down. Not the Shirley Temple, like, little...
Sundays at 11.
Not the Shirley Temple little dimple thing.
Wow, that impresses me that really Shirley Temple. That's probably where I got that from.
Yeah.
I grew up. But really, you watch Shirley Temple, man. I'm learning new things every time I do podcasts with you, Haley. Because you're younger than me, right? Yeah,
I loved animal crackers in my soup.
I turned 35, and you're like quite a bit younger than me, and Shirley Temple was like old for me.
I
The
had
only
those
reason why
DVDs. I had those,
that's
like,
incredible.
I had those cassette tapes of like animals crackers in my soup, and like
That's
yeah.
amazing. The only was it like a parent or like a grandparent that
I
got you
think
into that?
I think a grandparent.
Grandparent.
Or-
Yeah, that's the same for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason why I've ever seen Shirley Temple is because of my grandma. That, and I don't know if you've ever seen Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, like Road to all those old school old movies. Like the only reason why I've ever seen them is because of my grandma. That's pretty great.
I
That's
also
solid. That's a solid reference. I respect it.
What's really funny too is I like when quarantine first started, I was bored and I came across the Carol Burnett show.
Oh,
And I've been
really?
watching those. I was watching those for years.
That is a classic. That is a classic. She
Yeah.
was a genius.
Yeah.
She really was. That show's a classic. That's impressed. That is impressed. Color me impressed.
I mean,
Color me impressed.
I may
That's
be
not
young.
modern.
I may be young, but I'm a oldie at heart.
I mean, same. I mean, I'm old but I'm also old at heart. I'm 35, but in my heart, I'm more like a 70-year-old man.
Just quit, just quit.
Grasping onto the past.
Quit while you're ahead. Just quit with a sentence.
Okay.
You're just gonna get real sad real quick.
Now, do you know how to end this? Or do I have to do we have to
I know how to end this.
Okay.
That I know how to do.
See, I've got mine set up for hotkeys, so I could just go 2.
I know. I need to learn how to do hotkeys, but I think I'll do that next year.
This was very successful.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think everyone heard us. I think audio levels worked out.
Yeah.
Settings all set up correctly.
Yeah. Well, it was a very good hour. I think we went over like an hour and a half, maybe.
I think we're closer to 2 hours.
Closer to 2 hours. But yeah.
Content.
The audio version will be out shortly, either later today or tomorrow. I don't know when yet, but
Hey, before we drop out here, Haley, I need to ask you: do you do end cards on your videos?
yes.
Yes. So like on the left right now, theoretically,
Yeah.
there would be a link to like another podcast, perhaps the previous podcast, and on the right, there's like a random video and maybe a subscribe button that people could hit. Is what you're saying?
I believe so, yes.
All right, cool. I just want to make sure I mentioned that.
Okay. But yeah, you go check out the other podcast videos. Go check out Justin and Jake, who was in here earlier. And with that being said, we are off. And I will see you Eternal Stars later.